The 2024 election may be more than a year away, but campaign season is, as you know, well and truly here. And from now until next November, it's all about one thing: votes. Republicans and Democrats have their strategies, but when it comes to ballot harvesting and rounding up absentee votes, Republicans seem to be on the back foot. Now, to discuss this issue and where the Republicans stand on all this, I am joined by veteran reporter and writer for Real Clear Investigations, Steve Miller. Steve, thanks so much for joining us here on the U.S. Report. And first of all, I'd love to get you to explain to our viewers here in Australia who may not be familiar with how these things work, what is ballot harvesting, what is all of this about, and why are progressives better than Republicans at it?
Ballot harvesting is the collection of ballots by a third party other than the voter. And a number of states allow that in the U.S. In varying forms. So you can have a third party do it. In some states, it's only a relative or a roommate, and in other states, anybody can do it. And that's what Democrats have gotten very, very good at. Is the form of the third party where they can go around and round up these ballots. They do it strategically. They do it via voter data that they obtain, and they're just awful good at it. And this is probably a key strategy to how they can win the 2024 election.
And I mean, it's basically much of this, the rules around this really got loosened up around COVID, didn't they? So this is not something that we're going to see walked back anytime soon.
That's correct. For voting during COVID in 2020, voting rules were loosened dramatically. And so what we had was, just kind of a free-for-all. And ballot collection was definitely favored and used to great advantage by the Democrats. Republicans have never really done the collection of ballots so much. Republicans have always been good at absentee balloting, just mostly because a lot of the times their base skews older, and absentee balloting is, before COVID, was really the domain of the aged voter. Or the disabled, yeah.
And I mean, in your piece on realclearinvestigations.com, which is a brilliant piece because I think people who really deeply interested in how these things work, check it out, because there's a lot of the mechanics of how these things work that we don't understand here in Australia. You write that Republicans are on the back foot when it comes to the recent embrace of absentee mail and early votings. And is it because there's something fundamentally different about Republican attitudes that makes this harder? You talk about door-to-door door knocking, rules in suburban developments. Are there sort of structural issues on the Republican side that just make it harder for them to engage in this sort of activity?
Yeah, definitely, because Republicans are the type that vote on election day. And that's always been the way it's worked. They've just preferred to go to the polling place and vote on election day. If you remember, in Arizona in 2022, everybody was saying to get your vote counted. The Republicans were saying make sure you go and cast your ballot at the polling place. So the reason they're on the back foot is because they really don't know how this whole ballot collection works. And so, the RNC came out with something called Bank Your Vote, and claiming they're going to do ballot collection and embrace some of the same tactics as the Democrats. But remember, as recently as last November, they were out there saying, the RNC was saying, "Oh, we don't support ballot collection. We support vote the day of the election," and that's that.